All right, gentlemen, take your seats. Let's get this over before lunch. Clyde Rose of the Homicide Squad has decided to take early retirement. We will all miss Floyd and the steely edge he brought to his police work. The department has arranged a wee drink at the Galway Arms to quench the mighty thirst a man gets from 25 years of police work. Floyd's departure leaves a place at the top table, and the chief has seen fit to promote Cole Phelps from burglary to the homicide desk. Stand up, Phelps. Take a chair. You're in the major leagues now, Sonny. Rusty Galloway, a fine lawman of the old school, will be taking you under his wing. Your first case is the murder of a woman, found last night and bearing all the signs of the werewolf. Get out to the scene, lads.
I think Gregory kept my perfect.
Do you have the address?
It's been all over KGPL. It's off Temple Street, between Belmont and Glendale.
He's only a writer, so can't really help.
His mother would be proud of him catching all those criminals.
Crime scene is just up the dirt road, Detective.
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
Another tramp, another message. Is the werewolf back in business, boys?
Do you have a mother, asshole? A sister? How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
He's good, Rusty. He even sounds genuine.
That's Phelps, guys. The war hero. Defending the honor of murdered humps.
You're used to it, Phelps. Move it along, guys. You got your pictures, you got your headlines. Now scram.
Trollman, this your beat?
Yes, sir. Well, part of it. Kids park here, they use it like a lover's lane. It's a working neighborhood. Some trouble, but nothing like this. It's known locally as the Moors.
You were first on the scene?
Yes, Detective.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with. What can you tell me about the shoe prints?
Men's size 8s. Pinker lifted impressions for me to compare back at the lab.
Cause of death?
It could be the head injuries. She has been badly stomped. The cuts look superficial. I'll know for sure in an hour.
What caused the blunt force injury to the face?
Could be anything from a baseball bat to a lug wrench. I'll have more details after the autopsy.
Interesting. What about this wound on the finger?
Something removed. A ring, most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem.
What does the writing on the victim mean?
BD. Like Dahlia? Texts? Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killers trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
From the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
The victim's bag? Looks brand new. Can't be the one used on the body. Looks like some kind of puzzle or parlor game. The Bomba Club. Why steal a table lighter?
Can we get to the Bomba? A man could die of thirst in a case like this.
Drove me up to Mohana.
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Fire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
You want a tip? Refill my coffee next time, honey.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line. I just don't know how to dance to bebop.
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine? house, officer.
Christ.
That's the spirit.
Sure, I know her. She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Selena's was a lovely woman.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
You know him?
No. He's been in a couple of times.
Did they leave together?
Yes, at around 11. If it helps, I made the guy's license plate.
Sam has taken me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
You ought to meet Joe's buddy.
I think this could be a great help, sir. Thank you. Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
Was it valuable? Could it be motive for her murder?
Who could say these days? I think it had more sentimental than monetary value.
You know the husband?
Sure, I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. He put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
Was he ever violent with her?
Celine came in here last night looking like she'd taken a slap. They don't live together anymore, so it might not have been him.
Thanks, Mr. McCall. You've been a big help. One more thing. Would you have an address for Celine?
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
You want a tip? Refill my coffee next time, honey.
A waitress, can I have another spoon?
Say, honey, what time did you get off work and table?
I think he's a bit of a gangster. He treats me nice.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. I'll need to contact the DMV. Shall I relay the details via KGPL?
Please. Thanks, ma'am.
You drove me up to Mulholland and we did some
I'll try the back door. Wait here a second.
Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint. You said I had to go back, Doctor.
The fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
Circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary
You
arrangements.
said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate, but you have dealt with death before. I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal
You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
Size 9s, above average for a lady.
Celine and Jacob are obviously having problems. It speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being the husband. Jacob could give us something to go on. One of my exes drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I'll get nasty when I'm thirsty. Galloway, homicide, badge number 564. Requesting technical services for a suspected 459 at 142 North Union.
Tiffany? The rest of this stuff is junk. Might explain the missing ring. A regular Amelia Earhart per day. The ring looks distinctive. Not much help.
I knew it wasn't safe around here anymore.
LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan! Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking, and she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out, and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving, but she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh, my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
Please. I'm too upset.
That's the compliment.
Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. You follow my lead. You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics
Oh, my
for
God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is...
Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
That she's...
We're gonna have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
I get even the slightest hint that you're a flight risk, pal.
Seems irrelevant.
You think the atmosphere's thick in here? Wait till you try the gas. He'll be back in a moment. Just sit tight.
The oldest problem there is, what to do about the old lady.
So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
We get the impression that Celine liked to live the glamorous life. How did she end up with a hump like you, Jacob?
Celine was one of the first woman pilots. She hung out with movie stars and royalty. But when she came back here broke and struggling, she married a mechanic. Put a roof over her head, food on the table. Not glamorous, but the best I could do. I'm not ashamed about that.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
You don't remember what time you last saw your wife alive?
Look, I'm sorry. I left. Maybe 9 p.m. Might have been a little later, but right around 9.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
You were separated from your wife. You argued.
She wanted things I couldn't provide. Fact is, she was disappointed with life.
So you can prove that you came back here after you left your wife's place?
I came back here. I was here all night. Start work at 6:30. I'm not the going out type.
So you were here, tucked up in bed, while someone was out there beating your wife's brains out. That's all you've got?
Talk to the bartender at the Bomba Club. He'll tell you he called here last night, and I answered the phone.
We're still going to need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're going to tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
You're awful hot under the...
What's this function?
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. I'll keep old Slugger here company.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective. You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt...
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. Operator, give me R&I. Any word on an owner for that vehicle? License was 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in.
Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf?
Don't sound like a man I'd let my daughter anywhere near.
You've got a daughter.
Spend enough time drinking, Cole, you'll find yourself with any number of things you don't want when you're sober.
So that's why you never sober up.
Exactly.
It's him, the cop from the newspaper.
Here. The apartment's up on the top floor.
Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in. Take a look around and see what you can find.
Junk.
Gotta get these to Ray. Size 8s could help place Mendez at the scene.
This doesn't pertain to the case.
Consistent with Celine's injuries, and the blood can be typed. Brothers could match the color and brand of the body.
We have the murder weapon. We better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break, and Captain Donald will begin to like you.
Hey! What gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there. You don't need to do this, Alonzo.
Get in and drive. this asshole off the road. I got an idea. Get him next to my window, Cole. Keep me alongside his vehicle, and I'll stop the son of a bitch. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. Every man for himself.
You're under arrest for the murder of Celine Henry. Put your hands where I can see them.
Over again.
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand it.